Hi, I'm Jill Wignall. We are doing the Slow Stitch Sew Along, learning our different stitches, and this week we are going to learn how to do couching. We're going to start with a selection of threads, so you're going to pick a thread to use to couch onto the fabric, and then you're going to use a thread to do the actual couching. I've prepared my threads. I've got my wool with the needle and a knot on the end, and I've got my couching thread with a needle and a knot on the end. So I'm going to start off by, this is the wool is the thread that's going to get couched on. Couching means that you're going to press it on and hold it on with your stitches. To start with, I'm just going to do a straight line across the middle. So come up, excuse me, come up, and I'm going to be couching this on with stitches. I'm not going. One way you can do it is you can know where you're going to go and go down again and then just put that on. But with couching, the idea is that you can move the thread around as you want. So I'm not going to put the needle through, I'm just going to leave it, and then I'm going to start couching it on. So I'm going to use my finger to hold it, take my other thread, come up near to the woolen thread and go down over it. That's my first couching stitch. The nice thing about couching is that there is a lot of room for variation and play, I think. So you could have a go at doing some stitches close together and seeing how that looks. And you can also use different stitches to couch on, but in this tutorial we're just going to focus on using this basic couching stitch. So I need to pull my thread straight again, make sure it's going in the direction I want it to be going in, and then continue couching. And I'll just keep going like that. What you can do is take two steps. Take a step out by moving your needle where your next stitch is going to be. So it's gone down and come up where the next stitch is going to be. And that does make stitching a lot quicker once you get the hang of it, and once you're able to start taking that step out and having the needle ready where your next stitch is. And then to finish off, I am going to, first of all, I'm going to put this thread, this needle through some stitches to just tuck it away before I snip it. And then I need to bring my couched thread down. And I'll do the same thing on the back with that, because I've got space to do that. If I didn't, I would just do a knot. Okay, now I'm going to show you another way to couch. The next type of couching I'm going to show you is just the same technique, but just a little way that you can create a circle with couching. So I've brought up the thread that I'm going to couch on and the thread that I'm going to use to do the couching. So we start off by doing a couching stitch going up and over your thread. Then we pull the thread down, and then we couch to the side. You're creating a cross with your stitches. So I've done vertical, horizontal, now I'm going to do vertical again and then horizontal. And each time I'm just bringing that thread that I'm couching down along with me in the direction that I'm going. And then again. I'm going to catch that one on. And then I'm going to go around, and even though it wasn't perfect on that first stitch, I am going to go over here now. So let me show you it close up. I'm going to just keep going around and around, doing my stitches in the same direction, so in that cross shape. And you can just keep going like that and have a play with that kind of pattern. You might want to do it so that the couching stitches, actually you do more than 4 on each circle, and you create a pattern by doing different stitches. And then when my circle is as big as I want it to be, I'm just going to bring that wool down. Turn it over. I've brought both threads down, and I'm going to finish those off by tucking them through some stitches. And then I'm just going to show you one more way of doing couching. I've just couched this circle quickly, ready to show you the next step, and I'm just going down to finish it off. I really just used exactly the same technique that I used on this centre piece, but I did it in a circle, and I actually threw that circle on beforehand. So I'm going to show you how to do a sort of crisscross technique that looks quite nice. So you are going to be going across that way and then across that way. Or we could do it going down and this way to match our cross. Perhaps we'll do it that way. Coming up, and I'm going down. So this is the another couching technique that I mentioned earlier, where you can actually put the stitches on and then couch them down afterwards. So just to save a bit of wool, I've come up at the same side. I wouldn't do that on satin stitch, but these stitches are quite far apart. So I've done those stitches, just making that a little brighter. Done those stitches, and now I'm going to do the other ones the other way. So going directly across. See the way I'm just putting my needle across to see that they're going to be evenly spaced. It's just a little way of using your needle as a tool to guide your stitches. And then I'm going to take another thread to couch those loose big stitches on. My thread ready here, and I've chosen a thinner thread for this couching. So I'm just going to start, and I'm coming across the two overlapping wools. So you can see I've done this little stitch going across both the wools to couch them on. Another stitch that would look nice is if you did a cross stitch. I'll show you how to do that. There we go, little cross stitch. So that just adds a bit more decoration, looks slightly different to the other stitch. Even though this is where I came up and I don't really need to couch it, I'm just doing it to continue the pattern. It also adds a lot of texture, and you can really play around and use all different types of wools and combinations of threads to create different texture on your pictures. And there we have it. Just going to show you that close up. You can see I couched on around the edge, and then I did the large stitches, the long stitches, and then couched those in the middle of each one. You can really play around and experiment with what you can do with couching. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun with couching, and I'd love to see what you do.